Hello, my name is Sharik, and today we will build a very small terminal-based chat application using LangChain and OpenAI. So first we will begin by importing a function called create agent. And after that, we will, of course, need to call the function. We will provide two values. First, of course, you need to specify the model that you would be using, and I will specify the prompt, which is like you are telling the model how to behave. I will at the moment just say you are a helpful assistant. That's it. And for model, I in the environment already set up OpenAI API key. So I will be using OpenAI with GPT-4o model. In your case, you can use any models. You can refer to the LangChain supported models documentation page. It has information about many different ways to use different vendors' model and stuff. You can go there, and just to give you an example, if you're using Anthropics, then instead of OpenAI here, you would have Anthropics and then the model's name. And you can also pass in an instance of a model class from LangChain, but we will look at that in the future. This is really simple, so I'm just moving forward with this approach. So the instance, I will just put it inside the agent. And after that, to trigger, I need to call invoke on the agent. And invoke, of course, requires some values. For example, messages. And messages at the moment, just specifying a list with single object or a dictionary in it. So I will say role as user because the prompt which I'm about to give it, the content here, is coming from user. So that's why the role would be user in this case. And I will just ask a question. But if it's like information, you might use system role, and then you would have that information provided in there. And if it's a response from your AI chatbots, then you can put role as assistant and then the AI response. We will get there in a minute. So I just said that, and of course, after the invoke function, we get a response. So we'll put that there, and I will just output the whole response. Let's run the script. And for sure, we get the response back. So this is my message under human message. You can see how are you, and the response which I got back is this one. Now, let's take one step further. I will first make it look a little better because it's hard to see. So the response is the last message, and it's inside content. So I will just print it like assistant. And the message. Okay, once we have that, I will just go here, rerun the script. And then you can see here that I'm getting a response back. But it did not allow me to put anything. So let's fix that. So instead of saying something like static, I'll just create a variable called prompt. And I will use the input function from Python, which will let me type something in the terminal and put it inside the prompt. And then I will pass the prompt as content to the messages. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so now I can type something. And whatever I say will be sent to the bot in the invoke, and then you can see the response coming back. But now you see it does not let me ask another question, it just exits. So let's fix that one. So I'll just put everything inside while loop. And if in the terminal, if I say exit, then I want it to break out of the loop. If it's not exits, then everything would be working just as normal. And once a response complete, it will go back again to ask me the prompt or query. So, hi, how are you? And then I got the response, and then I can say my name is Sharik, and it knows that. Okay, that's great. Now it looks like it's working, but we now will see that if I say, what is my name? It will not know that because every single time it wants us to type in the terminal, like in this state, it's whenever you give something, it's a new state for it. There is nothing that references the previous messages which you had with the bot. Because every single time we are passing in one thing, which is just the prompt which you just asked, instead of all the prompts and everything that was there before. So there is no information about the history. It can be managed via LangChain checkpointer, but at the moment, let's do it manually. So I'll begin by creating an empty list. And every time when I get a prompt, which is like the user typing something in the terminal, I will just append that to the messages list. So since the content is coming from the user, I will define the role as user, and the content would be whatever the user provided. And then instead of providing this hard-coded value, I will provide the messages list that we have. And let's exit out and let's run it. And then I'll say, hello, my name is Sharik. And what is my name? And it knows my name now. That's good. But let's ask it something. Guess a random number between 1 to 100. What number did you pick? I actually don't generate or store random numbers or guesses, but let's imagine I picked the number 42. I'm not sure underneath why it did not go to the spectrum from 1 to 100, but you can see that it's not really sure if it picked that number because it does not have the information about the responses it produced for your query. It knows what messages you sent. It does not know the responses that you received for those messages. For example, if I were to say, um, give me a random word. Since it didn't work with the numbers, let's go with word. Okay, what word did you just give me? And you can see it gave me this word, but here you can see that it does not know that. So let's fix that. So every time it gives me a response, I'll just put it in messages like what I did with the prompt. And then whenever we are having a conversation, it will know the messages which I sent. It will know the messages which it sent me for the query which I asked. And then it will have the whole context or the memory. So we will do the same thing which we did here with the prompt. We will just say that when I get the response, we append it. The role would be, in this case, assistant, because the message is coming from the bot. And then the content would be whatever the content was given to me, in this case, message. And then I'll output that on the screen. We exit. We run it again. Hello, my name is Sharik. What is my name? And it says that correctly. So now it's proof that it knows the previous prompt which was given to it. Now let's test the random word guess again. Just give me a random word. Okay. I think that's the same word it gave me previously, but okay. What did you just give me? Oh no, sorry. What word did you choose? And it now knows that it already chose this because it has the information about what it responded for the queries. So now it can be very minimal, like basic version of a chatbot. You can ask something, it gives you a response, and it will know the response, the queries, and all the conversation which happens. Of course, it's in memory at the moment, and if you, as soon as exit out of the program and go back and try again, it will not know anything. So if I ask what is my name, it will not know that because the information was in memory. You can persist it, store it somewhere in your database, or we can use some LangChain magic for that one, which we will cover in the later videos. Thank you very much for watching.